Joey, you were certainly made to work hard for your passage to the third round tonight.
Oh, we knew it would be. You know, these ties can be slightly different if you play them on your own home pitch. You know, the surface here isn't the worst I've ever seen, but certainly it's not what we're used to at the training ground or at Highbury. But you've just got to navigate them. You know, you've got to do a professional job. Yes, it's nice to go and win, you know, by a number of goals, but also the key is just progressing. You know, making sure that you get in the hat. And I thought the lads were outstanding, thoroughly professional performance. Certainly later on in the game when we're managing the cup tie. So yeah, we've got a home tie. You know, if you can't get a big side, then the next best thing is a home tie against someone in your division, and you know we've got that in January now. So you get the same amount of money for being in the third round, I think, no matter who you play. And there's a nice carrot for us in Wimbledon if we can get beyond that, then maybe to get, you know, one of those big sides.
For the reason you've alluded to there, obviously the pitch, the circumstances, the surroundings, were you pleased with the way in which you know, the lads came tonight? They showed character, they dug in and got the result. Yeah,
look, the pitch is the same for both sides. You know, as I say, I'm not complaining about it. I thought it's a good surface considering the deluge we've had overnight. In terms of, we were in a hotel and obviously it was typical north of England weather for this time of year, and then obviously, you know, we can all feel the cold here tonight, so it wasn't easy, but also, you know, you've got to get the job done. It's not about making it comfortable for the league sides, and you know, Guiseley have prepared a very good surface for both sides. It has cut up a little bit, but credit to the ground staff and the groundsmen, because you know, I was worried earlier on in the week whether this game might be on. Thankfully it is, and thankfully we're in the half for the third round.
Particularly at that stage when you'd sort of been under the cosh in the early stages, the quality of the first goal must have pleased you.
Yeah, it always pleases you, especially when it's something that the lads have worked on the training ground. So we've been talking about going down one side of play, Louis Coyle not overlapping all the time because of Wes's pace, to post up in a support position, to come out pivot through either the midfield or the back line to the other flank, and obviously Connor puts the ball in from that other side, their defender scuffs his clearance, and Paddy does what he does best, which is put the ball in the back of the net. I'm actually surprised he took the second touch, because usually Pad puts them away with one touch, so he just took that touch to compose himself, picked his corner and gives us the lead. He done the same in the Alfred and tie, and it's so big to have somebody in your side who gets a goal. He's probably unlucky not to have a second one with the one that comes back off the crossbar, but another goal, I think that takes him to double figures for the season. So it's been a huge asset for us, not in terms of his goal scoring, because that has been massive, but just his all-round play. You know, his work ethic, he sets a tone for the team, and you know, I'm delighted for him. He gets another goal and helps us on our way into the third round.
Wes Burns' goal, rather bizarre goal. You don't see too many like that.
No, but again, we talk about, you know, defending from the front, and you know, as I say, Pad sets a tone an awful lot of the time. I thought Ched did, certainly in the latter stages of the game. But the desire to go and defend from the front, you know, Wes, you know, sensing that they're under pressure, and he goes and charges the keeper down. You know, you buy a ticket, and you know, you sometimes win a prize. And you know, I'm not sure how much he knows about it in the underside of the bar and in, but he gets it for his work rate for the team. You know, team over self. We talk about it all the time. You know, Wes gets a goal there just from running hard and having a desire to disrupt Guiseley.
James Wallace was named in the starting 11. Obviously, Nathan Sheeran had to take his place. What was the issue there?
It just his calf tightened up. I think, you know, I'm not blaming the pitch. I think it's been rumbling on the last couple of days. We've tried to get the bottom of it. We thought he was fine. Comes out on the pitch, and with it being just a bit heavier than the normal pitches, you know, he felt a little bit of tightness. He could have played, but we decided we didn't want to use him, mainly in case he got injured and was out for the period, and also it would have meant that we were bringing a sub on earlier than required, and that disrupted us. So we made a decision to make sure he's fit for the Luton game, or make sure he's fit for the game just beyond that. That we didn't want to risk, you know, getting him injured. So it's not ideal in terms of disruption, because you know, the patterns of play this morning, obviously James was starting and was in that, and credit to Shez, I thought, you know, clearly pays attention when we're talking about what we're doing tactically, because I thought him and Marnes, you know, put in a real professional performance in there, just kept us ticking over. You know, it wasn't a pitch for the most expansive football. It was a pitch for a lot of second ball football and a little bit of fight scene, and I thought the two boys in there, particularly, you know, Shez coming in late, thought he was showed that maturity that we know that he's got, which is way beyond his years, and the reason he's been a big asset to us as a football team.
Given the form sort of away from home of late in the league, a hard-fought win here tonight, so that's got to be a springboard now, isn't it, going to Luton?
Yeah, we've got Luton the best home form in the division, so look, it's just for us it's another game. We approach every game in terms of having a plan to win it. The key for us today is it didn't have to be pretty. The key is getting in the second round. It would have been nice had we not gifted them a goal, but I have to give their credit. It's a fantastic finish on a ball. I mean, the ball came to him lovely, but it still takes a cool head to slot it in. I think if they didn't score at that point, it probably would have been a slightly different emphasis in terms of the way the game was going, because we were in the ascendancy, probably looking more likely to to add to our tally. But they made it a great cup tie. Credit to Marcus and his players. I thought they competed fairly. It was a good, honest FA Cup tie, and as I say, we're delighted to win. But it takes two sides to make a decent game, and they had the chances early doors. Tested Cairnsey a couple of times, and competed, and I really enjoyed it.